Hey there, Internet Radio Land. Welcome to episode number 22 of Honey Radio. This is Kat the Head Honey, and I have with me tonight Linnie the Revenge Honey, and our very special guest, Mr. Tyler Main.
Hello, Tyler.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us tonight.
Hey, you know, anytime you get asked to be on Honey Radio, you gotta check it out, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep asking you then. That's awesome. So I really want to talk about your new film that's coming out, and it's being released on May the 13th or 14th.
May 13th.
May 13th.
Yeah, Compound Fracture, our first film through Main Entertainment.
Now, tell me a little bit about Main Entertainment. So, what made you decide to strike out on your own?
You know, I've always wanted to create films and projects on my own and with my wife Renee Geerlings, and she was with Top Cow Comic Books, and I met her at Wizard World, and you know, we've been together since like 2001, and we just decided that it was time to venture out and try and do some of our own projects. And Compound Fracture came about was we were wanting to do a contained, sort of like a self-contained supernatural thriller set basically in one house, and wrote it that way, and Renee did the majority of the writing, and I helped her with it, and we just decided to come up with this concept of a family that has to reunite after 20 years, and it's struggling with family issues of possible Alzheimer's and dementia and a bunch of crazy things in a crazy past.
I know how awkward family dinners can be after not so long. So 20 years is a huge time space.
It's a huge time absence to come together, and I reunite with my father, who is Muse Watson in it. And he is amazing in it. I just loved working with Muse, and the entire cast is just fantastic. You know, we couldn't have lucked out anymore. You know, it's got three iconic serial killers. It's got myself, if you want to call me an iconic serial killer. It's got Derek Mears, who was the new Jason from Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. And Muse Watson from I Know What You Did Last Summer, along with Leslie Easterbrooks in it, Daniel Roebuck is in it, Todd Farmer's in it. I mean, it's just Alex Saxon is in it, who's now on the Fosters and starting a pilot for another series. So it was just a fantastic cast, and we had a great time making it.
Well, tell me about your casting for Compound Fracture. Did you actually have like a dream team in mind, or did it just kind of fall into place? It sounds like it's pretty perfect as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I've known Derek Mears for, oh God, I hate to say how long, and never had the opportunity to work together. And I finally said to him, I said, hey, you know, we're doing this project, and I want you to be in it. And he's like, yeah, whatever, you know. And he didn't really take it too seriously. And then one night we were sitting around having some drinks, and I said to him, I said, hey, you want to fight me? He goes, yeah, when? And I go, in our movie. You just signed up. So he said, oh, damn it, okay. So that's how I got Derek Mears involved. And then everything just fell into place. You know, I'd worked with Leslie Easterbrook on, you know, The Devil's Rejects and that, and worked with Dan in Halloween's. And, I mean, it was just what I really wanted to do is just get together with my friends and make a great film. And that's what we've been able to do.
I think that's really cool. I think that's a real advantage of indie film. And I guess that's the kind of territory you're breaking into now, is the indie territory.
Yeah. I mean, any film that isn't through a major studio is considered indie film. So yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, and it's an interesting journey. You know, I mean, the landscape of the film business is changing drastically day by day. So,
well, so how do you feel having done both mainstream and now indie? Which do you prefer?
The indie film, you get to when we're in charge and we're doing it, you have more control of the project, instead of just showing up and going, okay, well, we're going to do this, and away you go. So being in control and having the control of the indie film through Main Entertainment has just been fantastic. Out of all the films that I've ever been lucky enough to work on, Compound Fracture was by far the most fun. We just had so much fun doing it. It was just, we were laughing all the time, having a great time, and then it's just fantastic. And I guess, call me silly, we're getting ready to start our next one, Penance Lane, where we're going to start filming later on this summer. So, and things are falling together great with that one, too. We have BJ McDonald, who I worked with on the Halloweens and Devil's Rejects, is going to come in and direct. I'm going to be reuniting with the stunt team from X-Men. Ben Jensen is coming on board to do our stunts for us, so it's going to be just a wild, crazy time.
That's awesome.
And Daniel Roebuck's going to be back. Leslie Easterbrook is going to be back. Muse is coming back. Mm-hmm. So it's just, family getting together and having a lot of fun again.
So I met you guys last year, you and Derek last year at Crypticon Seattle.
Yes.
Derek told me he wanted to kill me in the elevator. It was the best thing ever. So there was a screening of Compound Fracture at Crypticon last year.
Yes.
Yes. So with the release happening next month, is there anything, can you tell us anything about what was changed from that screener to final production? Like any Nothing was changed. What we did was we did a tour. And tour with the film, taking it out to the fans, and it is the same film. And we've added some behind-the-scenes footage to the DVDs and stuff like that, and it's basically the same film. That's awesome, because I know a lot of people that do their screenings initially and go around to festivals, and then they change everything and then release it.
Yeah, no.
That's really cool.
No, people seem to really, really enjoy it. So
that's awesome. Okay, so I have a question from our sci-fi honey.
Okay.
And this goes back a little ways, and you can choose to answer it as you like. She wanted to know if you can talk about your transition from professional wrestling to acting.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know I have to admit, big fan of the WCW back in the day.
Yeah, that was quite a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
But
we won't say how many.
It was, I wrestled professionally for about 11 and a half years, all over the world. And when I was wrestling in Mexico, I was asked if I wanted to be in a Mexican wrestling film. And I said, well, there's a couple of problems. I don't speak Spanish and I can't read Spanish. And they go, don't worry about it. Just say whatever you want. We're going to dub your voice. I'm like, okay, beautiful. Why not? Let's see what happens, right? So I do this Mexican wrestling film. It's even hard to talk about it. I'm choking myself up. Where I play an intergalactic vampire that shoots lasers out of my fingertips. And I have 3 midget sidekicks that are dressed up as aliens that follow me around with a pink fog that's following me as I'm chasing this woman. And it is, the 80s and 90s, so it is what it is. But from that, I said, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm not having to get dropped on my head, and I'm getting a paycheck, and I'm doing what I want to do and having a lot of fun. So then I transitioned into the acting. And from there, I did the Bandit series, the Smokey the Bandit series for the Universal Action Pack, and then ended up getting X-Men and with Sabretooth, and then moving on from there. And then now I have my own production company.
Wow. From humble beginnings.
I love, everybody asks, how do you get into be an actor? How can you be an actor? I'm probably not the guy to ask that question to. Well, see, you got to wrestle professionally for 11 and a half years, get dropped on your head a lot, and then you can become an, So, but there's so many different ways to get into the business. You just got to find your own way.
I think this is my favorite story of how I got into acting.
Yeah, right. Well, I was really good at getting dropped on my head, and I decided to,
Oh God. Have you watched the film since?
The Mexican wrestling one?
Yeah.
Actually, the funny thing, I was watching TV. I couldn't sleep, and it was probably 2:00 at night, and that damn thing came on one of the Spanish channels as I was flipping through it. I saw it. Wait, this is familiar. So I came running into the bedroom, woke Renee up, and said, "Honey, you got to see this. This is the first movie I ever did." She came out and looked at it, and she was like, "You woke me up for that?" Priceless.
Okay, can you tell our listeners what that film is called? Just in case anybody wants to be a giant hipster and go find it.
It is called...
Gotcha.
You got that?
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. If anyone can find it and send it to me, I'll send you some stickers and stuff.
It's on, right? Oh, my God.
So, in addition to our Sci-Fi Honey's question about getting into acting, have you always felt a pull towards roles in horror, sci-fi, thriller kind of genres? Or is there somewhere else you'd rather be?
No, I mean, like, you kind of find where you fit in, you know? I mean, like, I was wanting to do the action and that. Like, growing up in Canada, you know, I was a tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, slightly dyslexic, so I hated school. So I knew I wasn't going to do anything like that. And I'd watched wrestling every Saturday morning, Stampede Wrestling. And I was like, I want to do that. And then after Stampede Wrestling, I'd just watch action films until I had to go back to school. And I was like, I'm going to do that someday, you know. And everybody's like, in Canada, was like, yeah, right. And, you know, here we are. But no, like, to answer that question, getting into the horror genre and that, you know, Rob Zombie asked me to be in Rufus in The Devil's Rejects, work with him for 4 days on that, and I had a great time, and I was like, okay, well, that was cool, you know. And then I was actually up in Vancouver getting ready to talk to producers about another project, and the phone rang, and it was Rob Zombie. And of course, when that phone call comes, you take that phone call, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Exactly. So I'm talking to him, and he says, hey, you know, I want you to be in Halloween. I, you know, wrote it with you in mind, and if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, I don't want to just be wearing a mask. And he said, no, it's going to be different. We're going to give him a whole backstory and make him more than a one-dimensional character and, you know, make it real intense. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm in. And that's how I got into the horror. You know?
So how are you liking horror now? I mean, are you still, like, when you're at home watching movies, do you pick action movies still, or?
I watch a lot of horror now. You know, I mean, it's interesting. I love the genre. I'm a real fan of the genre. You know, I mean, I still love my action films and stuff like that. But as a producer and for my company, the horror genre just fits perfectly. You know, I'm waiting for that, you know, big love interest film that I could do come along with, you know, maybe me and a midget or something. I don't know. It'd be a romantic comedy, right? Yeah, no, I don't see myself doing that. So it's the horror genre, you know what I mean?
I think the lovely thing about the horror genre is I think that, unlike romantic comedies, I think that actors can actually grow old gracefully through horror films. I mean, if you look at, even Muse Watson. I mean, he's grown through horror, and same with Sid Haig and Bill Moseley. I mean, there's really no death for a horror actor, I don't think.
No, exactly. I mean, and well, usually there is in the film.
Well, that's different. That's not what I mean.
I had to start my own company so I could live through a film. Jesus, you know, the heck. And then I'm living through the film, and Derek Mears is kicking the crap out of me in Compound Fracture for the whole film. I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh, man.
He said, oh, I'm loving it, though. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yes, you are.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun, Derek. Whatever.
Yep.
Okay, Linnie, you had a question on here?
I did, as a matter of fact. He kind of answered it in a roundabout way, but I guess I'll ask it again. How does it feel to finally be able to kind of achieve and fully realize your own visions as opposed to helping someone else achieve theirs now that you have your own production company?
Well, you get to mold the whole project, and you get to hands-on from the beginning, especially like with Compound Fracture. We wrote the project, we knew what we wanted to do, and we molded it all the way along through the post-production, through the filming, through everything. So it's just great to be able to do that and put a project together, and then you're, sweating, thinking, oh my God, I hope people like it, But it was just so much fun. Like when you're on another project, you go in, you do your filming, you walk away, and you don't know what they're going to do with it. So this way we have control of it, which is exciting.
That's awesome. I've heard that from a lot of people, especially actors who've gone from big budget films to making their own stuff. It's this great cathartic experience to be able to fully give birth to this project.
Yeah, because then, and you see the vision, because sometimes, when you're filming and you're working for other producers or whatever, or working on a different film, you see things turning out a different way. And then when you finally see it, you're like, oh, okay. I guess that's their vision. So it is a fantastic experience to be able to do it.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see when this comes out, because I actually have not seen the full film yet. So I'm very excited to see it when it comes out.
Well, that'll be May 13th.
I know. I was hoping that I could squeeze you to send me a screener, but you resisted.
I haven't even got any yet. I really don't. I'm waiting for my shipment to come. So I'm just like, that's the thing. When, once you let it out of your hands and you send it through the distribution like that, it just grows a whole new life of its own, and you're just like, it's interesting. It's an interesting process.
All right. So since I'm not going to take up too much of your time, what can you tell us about Penance Lane? I know you've decided on your filming location.
Yes, we are going to be filming in North Carolina. Penance Lane is about Crimson Matthews, who gets released from prison and is sent on a mission by his cellmate to this house on Penance Lane. And what he finds in that house is not what he expected by any means. And needless to say, there will be blood.
And you're playing the lead character in that?
Yes, I'm Crimson Matthews, who's getting released from prison and going and having fun. And Renee, my wife, is playing one of the characters, and she is going to be the lady behind the mask now.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's
so
awesome.
We're going to be a 2-mask family.
That's really cute. Oh, and since you brought that up, I have to ask one more question. What's it like working with your spouse? I mean, I know I work with my husband all the time, and it's the best thing ever, but some people don't have that connection, and it sounds like you guys do. Can you talk about working with someone that you live with?
I love it. We fill in different areas. I'm very business orientated, and she's creative, and we just come together. And then when we work on set together, we just have so much fun. We wake up every morning after getting like about 2 hours of sleep, because you're filming and you're trying to take care of all the business that has to be done. And you get a couple hours of sleep and you're right back at it. We would wake up every morning, look at each other, and go, "We're making a movie." I mean, how cool is that? So, but if you asked her, I was probably a big pain in her ass. So, that's the husband's job, I think, right?
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of
so
is.
I fulfilled it.
I know my husband's sitting on the couch waving at me like,
So he knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, Linnie, do you have any final questions?
Where in North Carolina are you filming?
There's a little town called Ramseur. It's just outside of Greensboro.
Yeah, it is. You're going to be filming about 20 minutes from my house.
Well, there you go. Where's your house?
Greensboro.
You're in Greensboro. Oh, really? I'm going to be there, I think, next week.
Yeah, you just have to let me know when you're filming.
Yeah. Have you been to Ramseur?
I have. It's interesting.
It's a creepy little town, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of deer hanging in trees.
Oh, shit.
A lot of wild stuff. Well, I guess they shot one of the children in the corn there.
They did indeed.
That would make total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going there to have some fun.
Awesome. Yeah, you picked a good spot. It's a strange little town.
Yeah. It looks cool. It fits for this film perfectly.
I love it. We're going to send Linnie to set to creep. It'll be great.
There we go.
I mean, investigative report.
Investigative reporters and...
We're here on honey business.
Yeah, well, that makes it all okay. You're on honey business.
I'll send you armed with stickers. It'll be great. All right, Tyler, so we will let you go so you can finish off your night. Can you give us some links to where people can find Compound Fracture online?
I sure can. Everything, Facebook and Twitter, go to Maine Entertain, M-A-N-E, Entertain. I am on Twitter at Tyler_Maine. And that's it. Maine Entertain on Facebook, Twitter, Tyler Maine on Facebook. All of those, you will find all the information.
Awesome. And Compound Fracture is released to DVD and VOD on May the 13th.
May 13th.
Exciting.
Yes.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. You guys too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So thank you once again to Tyler Maine for joining us tonight. You can find the Horror Honeys podcast on Podomatic, on Stitcher, and on the Wicked Radio Network, of which we are so proud to be a part. You can find all of our reviews, interviews, and more at thehorrorhoneys.com. That's THEHORRORHONEYS.com. You can talk to us on the Twitter at Horror Honeys, HORRORHONEYS. And you can talk to Linnie.
I'm the Revenge Honey, and I am at Linnie Loohoo, LINNIELOOWHO.
So once again, we're so glad that you joined us tonight, and now we're going to say goodbye. Ready, Linnie?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. Bye!
Bye!
I love to take my baby to a movie show, so I can try to smooch her while the lights are low. But she won't cuddle to a story of romance. There's only one way I've got a chance. It takes the Batman, Wolfman, Frankenstein, or Dracula to put her in the mood for love. It takes the cat, girl, dog, boy, creature from the Black Lagoon